What's going on, Lorain County sports fans? We are back with more video content for you. This time it's Diamond Chat, brought to you by our friends over at First Federal Savings of Lorain. And boy, do we have a lot to cover in the debut episode for this spring. Baseball and softball seasons are in full swing. Yeah, some weather postponements and cancellations have kind of skewed the beginning of the season for a lot of our teams, but still a couple of our clubs off to a really strong start on the campaign. But before we dive into all of that, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel for all the latest from what's happening in and around Lorain County. And drop a comment as well. Let us know what or who you want to see this spring sports season. If you want to see some Pioneer baseball, some Lady Panther softball, just let us know. So again, like and subscribe to that Chronicle YouTube channel. Drop some comments down below. So let's go ahead and get right into things here. We'll start on the boys' side of the equation with baseball. And one team that I got to see in action this past weekend actually was the Keystone Wildcats under Coach Bert Fitzgerald. And with a lot of our teams with so many postponements because of the weather, it's become a situation of playing a lot of games in a very, very short amount of time. And the Wildcats embodied that this weekend, playing 4 games in just 2 days. They had a doubleheader with Lorain on Saturday and a doubleheader with Brookside on Sunday. So again, that's a lot of ball in a short amount of time. But Keystone did okay. They split both series there, went 1-1 with Lorain, 1-1 with Brookside. We had that first game with Lorain on WEOL, and boy, what a doozy it was. Lorain went into the 7th inning with a 6-2 lead over Keystone. Silas Tyler had went 6 strong innings, didn't have any earned runs. Both Wildcats runs came off of errors, but unfortunately for Silas, wasn't able to get through the 7th. The bullpen kind of let him down a little bit, and Keystone puts up a 5 spot to come back and walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. Again, they knock off Lorain in game 1, 7-6. Lorain comes back to win game 2, and again, then Keystone splits the doubleheader with Brookside on Sunday. But some awesome performances from a couple of Wildcats, looking at guys like Cal Davies and Jack Civic continuing to have strong start to the season for Keystone. 2 other teams I wanted to talk about that took full advantage of their spring break trips, and that was the Elyria Pioneers and the Midview Middies. They were both at Myrtle Beach this past week in the Mingo Bay Classic. Elyria went 2-2. Midview went 1-1. First for the Pioneers under Coach Ed Piazza. Again, they went 2-2 in their 4 games down there at Myrtle Beach. They beat Hedgesville, West Virginia, and then North Lincoln, North Carolina. Nico Spicer and Nick Schuster each had multi-RBI games, I should say, in that win over Hedgesville. And then looking at Midview, just 1-3, unfortunately, for them in that trip to Myrtle Beach, but plenty of awesome experience for them nonetheless for Coach Ryan Morgan. Looking at a guy like Ryan Boers, one of their pitchers, he helped carry Midview to a 5-3 win over North Lincoln. He had 8 strikeouts in 7 innings of work, so Boers is a guy who I think can really help carry this Midview defense as far as pitching goes. Turning now to the softball side of things, let's start over at Elyria Catholic with Annika Bradel off to a scorching hot start this season. Of our local coverage teams in Lorain County, she leads in a number of categories. Batting average with 613, hits with 19, doubles she has 6. She's got 4 home runs and 19 RBIs. Again, that leads all girls in Lorain County as far as our local coverage teams goes. She's also top 5 in runs scored with 18, triples with 2, and stolen bases with 12. And that's helped get Elyria Catholic off to an 8-2 start on the campaign, 5-0 unbeaten still in Great Lakes Conference play. Looking at the Keystone Lady Wildcats, defending state champions, new head coach at the helm. That's Doug Cooper, again, new first-year head coach in our area. Lady Wildcats off to a strong start yet again, though, despite the changes. 10-3 on the season, 4-0 in conference play, and look no further than Lily Castle. I mean, we know all about her with this Keystone team, a Northern Illinois commit. She's 8-1 on the season with a 2.6 ERA, so Lily off to a strong start. Delaney Peters, Kennedy Kerr, and Hannah Gurich kind of helping carry things offensively for Keystone in the new campaign. Sunday's competition, or game I should say, with Brookside ended up being postponed to this week, and Brookside was a team that made a nice little tournament run last year, kind of caught some people by surprise. New head coach, but a lot of returning players, so I got my eye on that Keystone Brookside matchup this week. And then finally in the softball area, you've got Amherst, the Lady Comets, off to a great start as well. 10-4, 7-1 in conference play. Cassidy Kettleman had an 8 RBI game in a weekend win over Olmsted Falls for the Lady Comets. So Amherst certainly a team to keep an eye on. Some other notes to touch on here real quickly. Did want to give a shout out to Lorain baseball as they tossed a no-hitter last week, combined from Silas Tyler and Xavier Palos. Again, Tyler, he struck out 11 of the 12 batters he faced in that game, so that is domination right there. They end up mercying Maple Heights in a 5-inning game, but still a combined no-hitter for Lorain, pretty impressive. Black River, undefeated right now in Lorain County Conference play under head coach Jack Connor. Noah Hopek struck out 11 in 6 innings of work in a Friday win over Keystone. And Hunter McJunkins, fantastic baseball name. He has 3 multi-hit games under his belt already. So Black River, watch out for the Pirates, folks. Teddy Murphy of Open Door, got to give a shout out to him. Might be the best two-way player in the area. Why? Well, his ERA, a fat 0 right now. Zeros across the board. He's also batting .700 from the plate. So I don't know if it really gets much better than that. Teddy Murphy might, again, be the best two-way player in our area. And 2 Lady Rangers pitchers over at North Ridgeville that I want to give a shout out to under first-year head coach Amy McMillan, Autumn Belkey and Katie Barnhart. We're very familiar with those two in our area. Autumn has a 1.58 ERA on the season, Katie a 1.62, both top 5 in the county, so shout out to those two. Well, what's coming up later this week in the area that you can pay attention to? Well, how about that Priebus tournament this weekend at LaGrange? 4 games you can hear on WEOL. They should be fantastic. Starting with Friday, on the 29th, Keystone takes on Walsh Jesuit at 4 o'clock. That'll be followed by Amherst and Perry at 6 o'clock. WEOL's Craig Couch will have the call for you there on both of those games. Then on Saturday, a 10 a.m. Matinee between Elyria Catholic and Madison. We're bringing Tim Alcorn back to the station for that one, so he'll have the call. Again, 10 o'clock Saturday morning, Elyria Catholic and Madison. Later on in the day, Brecksville takes on North Ridgeville at 12 o'clock. Rob Polinsky has the call there. So there's the latest right now as far as baseball and softball in Lorain County goes. Again, the weather not super cooperative early on in the season, but things starting to shape up, and I think we're going to be able to play ball the rest of the way. Again, before we get out of here, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel to catch all the latest episodes as they are released. And of course, drop a comment down below. Let us know what or who you want to hear from this season. We're always interested to know. So big shout out to Kristen Bauer behind the camera once again. I'm Rocco Nushi saying thank you for tuning in to the debut episode of Diamond Chat, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll see you next time.